So tonight we are stepping into our third episode. This is a series that we're doing through that play your own game series. If you were with us last week, you remember we challenged the idea that the rules that we've been handed by diet culture, by the medical system, by society, by our families, by all these social expectations aren't necessarily rules that we have to follow. We call them those things that push us, that pull us. And it was called The Rules Were Never Meant for You, Reclaiming Success on Your Terms. And tonight we go a little deeper. We're talking about what it means to redefine the win. What does success actually look like on this journey? Spoiler alert, it doesn't look like you think. It has nothing to do with somebody else's expectations, somebody else's numbers, somebody else's scales. It has everything to do with how you are putting together your plan. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. If you're new to me, that's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives, which says that we're not allowing anything from outside or anything from inside to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're showing up with our best selves, our best health, and our best plans for our lives. If you're new to me, go ahead and put new in the comments because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music to let you know that I'm excited that you're here. If you've got questions, go ahead and put those questions in the comments because I want to make sure we get to those as we move through our show tonight. Whatever platform you're joining us from, whether that's Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitch or Facebook, or even here on YouTube, I welcome you to the space. Those of you who are joining us because you saw our content on some other platform at your church, as your community center, your doctor's office, wherever it was, welcome to you. A special shout out to the folks from Atlanta Berean. Glad that you are in the space, and a special shout out to those folks from Nashville Riverside in the house. Glad that you are here as well. We've got some good things that we're going to be looking at, some fun things. If you have been following us, you know that we are in the middle. Actually, I said in the middle, but we're actually near the end of our strength, strategy, and mindset series that we've been walking through. This is one of the arms of our MOVE campaign. Remember, metabolic optimization via exercise. How do we get our bodies in a place so that it can heal? Because the body has a tremendous ability to do what we need it to do if we give it the space and if we give it the right the right circumstances. And so the metabolic optimization via exercise campaign is one that we are doing to say, hey, we want to make sure that you have a space that you can go and that you can be successful in all the things you're doing. We are on day number 89. Wow. Can you believe it? Day number 89. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna jump over there really quickly so you guys can see what has been going on as we have been moving through this space. So we're doing our exercises, but we also have been doing walking. So let me look at the exercising first. So here I am in my little exercise area. I'm about to do some, let's see, what are we doing now? So here we are, we're doing our warm-ups. Right, we're doing some warm-ups and we're doing some squats. All right, some squats. We've got what are we doing here? Some dumbbells. Oh, okay. Then we're doing some leg raises. And here we're doing some stomach crunches. Here we're doing some dead bugs. I don't know if you guys have done dead bugs before. So dead bugs. Here we are. Yep. There we are. There it is. And lateral raises. Okay, so I want you to make sure that you are coming through and that you are doing what you need to do to be healthy, because I want you to understand that the things that we're providing are spaces where you can just come and you get to plug in and get to join us on that path. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We get to walk down that path together. And then, of course, if you go to our website, you see our website and our YouTube channel have been redesigned. They've been simplified to give you lots of benefit. So when you go to the YouTube channel now, you will see that there are simply 2 playlists. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that right now. So YouTube. And you guys are seeing me just hop over there. Oops, not that one. Dwain Woode. That's me. If you go to our YouTube channel now, you'll see that we've simplified it. So here we are. And this is the show that's going on right now, the episode that's going on right now, which is called, Redefining Wins, what success actually looks like in your health. And then the first playlist that you'll see is this one here entitled Start Here. This, if you're coming to the channel for the first time, if you're pointing somebody for the channel, or if you're coming back and you just want to refresh, that's where you would start. All the other videos are still on the channel, but on the main page, you'll see this Start Here. And this is a curated list of videos that we've done that allows you to kind of walk through the pillar and the pivotal things that we've been discussing here as we're setting ourselves up for health. If you go into the description, there is right down here, there's a PDF that you could download by just going to, where is it? Right there. There's a PDF you can download, and I'm going to actually grab that and I'm going to put it into the chat. And it actually walks you through the various videos that are in that space. So you want to make sure that you get over there. The other playlist that you will see is this one here that says this week's videos. So if you want to know what's going on this week, right? Hey, I know that that's the thing that we're walking through. That's the path. That's the journey. But what's going on this week? How do I catch up to what's happening this week? And this is where you will see the videos that we're doing this week. Right now, there are only 2 because it's the 2 videos that we've already done. The one from yesterday, which was our episode 88, and the one from today, our episode 89. This show that we're doing right now will be the 3rd one that will show up here. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll have our check-in as we start our fast and then moving through the week. So all the videos that we're doing for this week will show up in that space right there. If you go to our website, DwainWoodeMD.com, you'll see this same idea replicated, and it's simplified with just simply 2, after the welcome from me on the website, 2 main sections. One is this button that points you back to that playlist that I just talked about. And then the second is this button, which points you to the download that you can do. And that actually is a pretty good download. It is designed to help you walk through the process of going through the videos. And in fact, let me see, do I have... Yeah, why don't I do this? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it over. Let's see, what's the simplest way to do this? Yeah, I'm going to pull that over here. Give me just a second because I want you to see what that looks like so that you understand that it is a very good place to begin. I'm going to pull it over here. Hopefully you get to see this really quickly. All right, here we go. So it's a PDF that walks you through each of the components of the playlist. There's a welcome letter there from me that talks about you and say, hey, thank you for coming through. And then it describes the 4-part journey that you're going to be on as you go through that playlist. The first part is start with a vision, understanding what really is going on, mastering the tools, and then putting it all into action. And then at the end, there is the limitless declaration that you get to go through, and you get to think about what you've learned, and you get to sign there, and you put the date and says, hey, I'm committing that this is the path that I'm going through. Okay? So go ahead and download that if you've not done that yet. That is a wonderful way to jumpstart and jump into what we're doing and begin walking down this pathway. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's take a look at blood sugars. Let's start here. And this is my blood sugar according to my Freestyle Libre right now. And we're looking at this number right here. See, that number is 99. If you scroll down, that's my blood sugar right now, by the way. If we scroll down a bit to right about here, you'll see that squiggly white line, and that's what my blood sugars have been. I'm going to go ahead and put my finger on that line, and then let's take a look at what the actual numbers are. And you'll see as I scroll across, you'll see up in this little area, you see those little numbers changing. Okay, so that's what my blood sugars have been over the course of the last 12 hours. In the 90s, 90s, 90s. That's in the morning there about, this is right about noon. That's lunchtime, a little after lunch. You see, got up to 95, up to 100, 101. In the 90s, 90s, 90s. Right, so that's what's been going on, blood sugar today. Let's go ahead and let's get over to the Dexcom Clarity or Dexcom G7. And as you know, the G7 tends to be, for me, a little higher. And you'll see there's a big gap right here, and that's when my Dexcom went out, probably last night sometimes, and I didn't change it again until this morning when I woke up. All right, so that's what my blood sugar is right now. And let's go ahead, I'm gonna put my finger, and we'll get to run across and see what those blood sugars are. 120s, 140s, 120s, 117, 120, 121. And so this just kind of gives you an idea of what's been going on over the course of the last, basically the last 12 hours, because like I said, I didn't change it. I was asleep when it went out. Actually, no, sorry. No, that's not what happened. So I got a new phone. That's right. I got a new phone yesterday. And when I everything got transferred over, it didn't occur to me that the new phone was not connecting to my my sensor. I actually looked at the Libre, and the Libre had actually reconnected. The Dexcom didn't reconnect, and so I had to change that. You guys saw one of my guys is calling there, and I'm gonna say hi and tell him that I'm online, and his phone number just showed up on my screen. So don't say anything because I got you on speakerphone right now. I'll talk to you later. All right, so there you go. Right, one of the beauties of being live, right? I love it. All right, yeah. So that's what happened. So the Dexcom didn't reconnect, and so I didn't realize it until this morning, and so that's why there's that big gap there, and so I changed it this morning. But the Libre, like I said, reconnected. So if you're out there, you're from one of those companies, there you got, shout out to the Libre because it picked it up, but the Dexcom didn't do that. All right, now let's go ahead and let's take a look at my blood sugars from my monitor. So I've got two monitors. I've got the the Keto Mojo, and I've got the Contour. So let's hop into my little container. We're gonna grab we're gonna go ahead and grab this guy. This is my Contour, and then I need a brown for blood sugar and a blue for ketones, and then I need this, which will give, these are my Lancets. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna open up, drop those. Open the one for blood sugar. What do you think my ketones are going to be, by the way? So I have not fasted. I've not been fasting since we ended the fast on Friday. Oh wow! So I see someone here in our group. Here is my man Gary Jones, and Gary just gave us a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Boom. Super chat from Gary. Appreciate that. Thank you. Really appreciate that, man, coming through and popping that super chat in for us. So this is my Keto Mojo, my Contour, and let's go ahead and I'm going to open up. And I don't use a Lancet or Lancing device. I just use a Lancet. So I just open that up, and Here is my lancet, and grab a finger, and boom, 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 ow, ow, ow. Okay, a nice brisk drop of blood. All right, here we are. And get those started, and let's go back over here so we can see. So 105 for the contour, so Keto Mojo, and then 109 for the contour, and of course you see right there that the Dexcom says I'm 140. If I go back over to the Libre, so the Libre is more in keeping with what these guys are showing, okay? And the Dexcom, of course, as you know, typically is much higher than these. So let me go ahead, and we're gonna get another drop of blood, because I have got to get the ketones. So go ahead and drop the ketones in. What do you think the ketones are going to be? What do you think the ketones are going to be? All right, here we go. Let's get this one started. All right, and let's get back over here so we can see what that is. And so no fasting, right? So no fasting since we ended our fast on Friday, and you saw what my numbers have been. So ketones are 0.2. So when we talk about ketones that are less than 0.5 considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered nutritional ketosis, and above that considered therapeutic ketosis. So, so right now I am in the nutritional ketosis phase. We talk more about that if you're interested. We've done videos on ketosis. But when you're fasting, when you're in a ketogenic diet, when you are doing a ketone a fasting mimicking diet, you want ketones to be 0.5 or higher. Okay, we've got community members who are in ketosis most of the time. They eat in a way that maintains ketosis and are getting great benefit for that. I'm in ketosis for 3.5, maybe 4 days out of the 7 days of the week, because I'm fasting for 3 days, and then I try to maintain ketosis as long as possible when I get out of my fast. So usually about 3.5 days, maybe almost 4 sometimes, depending on what's going on when I end my fast, or depending on what's actually happening at the beginning of my fast, because sometimes the food that I ate is so low in carbs that I end up going into ketosis. Like this last week, if you recall, we were in ketosis from day one. I think it was like 0.9. 1.0, and then 2.1, and then by the end of the fast, my ketones were 4.4. So that was a tremendous process there. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at actual blood sugars. And this is my report, my 14-day report. Blood sugars 107 average for the last 14 days. I'm in target 96% of the time. And my GMI, glucose management indicator, is 5.9. So if I were to get an A1C, I would expect my A1C to approximate that. Now, if you're in our community, you heard me talk, and I did a community shout out yesterday. You heard me talk about some benefits that I saw. So I got my labs done, y'all, last week for my doctor's visit that's coming up here in just a couple of weeks, week after next, actually. And I'm very excited. We're going to do a show where I actually show you and walk you through what my labs are, this last set of labs that I got, and you get to see what they were previously, because I show those as well. But that's what I would expect my ketones, my A1C to approximate. All right, if I do 90 days, my average over the 90 days. Right here, 113, GMI was 6.0, in target 98% of the time, and target once again being 70 to 180. Let's go ahead and we're going to go over to my actual reports, and let's kind of just walk through this. And here we are. So we're going backwards from today, where we are right now. Actually, why don't we do this? Let's keep going. And so backwards from where we are, back into the weekend, right? So that was last night. Here we are getting to midnight last night, and then back into last evening, 9 o'clock, into yesterday afternoon. Notice we're in the 120s, 130s, 140s. And as you guys know, when I'm not fasting, I still do a 1 meal a day usually. Yesterday was a little different because we were out and about, hung out with my son, and went out and got some new phones and iPads and that kind of stuff. So here we are, and this is now into Friday. And you will remember that when we broke the fast on Friday, we were actually hanging out in the 50s and 60s. Look at that. Right? So for most of the day coming into that fast, we were in the 50s and 60s. If you didn't see what I ate coming out of the fast, go back and watch that. And then here I am going from 50s and 60s, and I think we popped up to the highest we had was a 156 right there. Okay? All right, so that's what's been going on blood sugar wise. Let's go ahead and let's say hello to our community before we get into our discussion. And I do see, I see my man Gary. Looks like Gary was the first one to pop in. Gary, what is going on, man? Glad that you're here in the space with us once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I mentioned, welcome wherever you are. For all of our community members, go ahead and drop in the chat, by the way, where you're from. I know we've got folks, I actually see someone who's in Korea right now. We've got some folks in Netherlands. We've got folks around the United States, of course, in New York, in Georgia, in Ohio, in California. And then a special shout out to our folks from Atlanta, Berean. Thank you for coming through. And then Nashville, Riverside in the house. All right, so Gary, thank you, man. He says, greetings. Gary dropped us a super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Once again, we give you a hand clap for that. And then Cornelia says, hello, Dr. Woode, Gary, and LLG. And then Gary dropping that super chat again. Man, Gary, look at you. Cornelia was guessing at 0.3, and we were actually 0.3. Cornelia, look at you, look at you. Gian says, hi, doctor, and hi, LLG. Happy 5th anniversary. And Steve is saying hello. So 5th anniversary. So Gian is giving us a preview. This month we are actually celebrating our 5th anniversary here on the channel. That's actually coming up not this Saturday but next Saturday. So you hear more about that. Just excited to be in the space with you and see the benefits that everybody is getting. And Jion says, I'm from South Korea, and it is 9:24. And then Jion said, hi, Steve, and hi, sis, directed to Cornelia. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into our discussion for this evening, because we've got an amazing conversation that we want to have as we talk about playing our own games. Let's hop over and let's do that. Let's see. Let's do that right now. So let me tell you a story about a patient named Lisa. We'll call her. She was doing everything right. Exercising, fasting, eating better, everything that she'd been told. But every time she stepped on the scale, she became depressed because either it didn't move or it didn't move quite enough. She didn't see the benefits. She didn't see the progress that she was expecting. And one day she came into the office and she broke down and said, what's the point? If the number doesn't move, if it's not giving me what everybody says I should have, what's the point of all the stuff I'm doing? And whenever she got on the scale and it caused her to get depressed, she went into a spiral. And the spiral took her days and weeks and sometimes months before she was finally able to make that final turn and come back up. And so she started again, and she would make some progress in terms of her mentation, and she'd get on the scale and she'd see it again, and it would start, the whole process would start over. Well, today we're flipping the script on what success really means, because just like Lisa, that's where many of us have been, or many of us find ourselves right now, where we are doing what we're told, but the scale is not moving. The blood sugars aren't better. They keep putting us more and more medication. Every time we go in, it seems like something else is broken. And we're going to flip that script right now to talk about what is success in your health? What does that look like in your journey? So for too long, we've measured progress with numbers on the scale, on the lab sheet, on the calendar. But here's the thing. If these numbers are all you're chasing, you might be missing the most important part of your transformation. So what we want to do right now is we will talk about the internal wins, the real markers of growth that create lasting change from the inside out. Because when those wins are going on, everything else follows. So what we want to do is we want to redefine the wins together. So we're talking about what is a win. So we're playing our own game. And so what is success? So before we go deeper, let's define what success really looks like. Success is not a number. Wait. What are you talking about? Success is not a number. It's not your weight. When you step on the scale and that thing says a number, that is not success. It's not your lab result. And it's definitely not how perfectly you follow the plan. Whoa. What are you talking about? Success is alignment. It is when your daily choices reflect your deepest values. Success is showing up when it's hard, when you don't feel like it, when nobody else is watching. Success is you being there. It's becoming the kind of person who takes consistent actions from a place of purpose, not a place of pressure. So today, when we're not chasing perfection, what we're doing is we're living in alignment. We're living with clarity. We're living with intention. We're living with truth. And that is what sets you free. That is what allows you to achieve the markers that everybody says you have to have. That's what allows you within peaceful times, within a joyous life, to achieve the markers that is on the paper, that's on the lab, that's on the scale. Because if you only chase the number without alignment, then it's just something you're doing. And every time there is a problem, you go into a spiral, just like Lisa. And that is not what we want to do. So why do most people have problems in their health? And why are most people losing at health? Well, most people are losing because it's set up that way. Yeah, not because they don't try, but because the scoreboard they're watching was not a scoreboard that was explained, was not a scoreboard that they bought into, was not a scoreboard that was designed with them in mind. We measure weight. We talk about steps. We talk about blood sugars. We talk about calories. We talk about BMI. We let those numbers decide whether we're doing well or doing poorly. But how often do you feel like a failure when you're doing your best? How often do you get frustrated that the number that you see, wherever the number is, whatever number, whether it's a scale or an A1C or a finger stick, or when it doesn't budge, even though your effort is there? How often Do you stop altogether because you said, what the heck? It feels like it's out of your reach. I often tell the story, and I've never seen this actually in a Western, but my dad, when I was growing up, he liked Westerns. And so I imagine a wagon going across the country, right? And the little kid is on the back and he's whittling on a piece of wood. And his parents are up front, everybody's talking, and nobody's really paying attention to him. And they hit a rock, boom, and he falls off. And the wagon keeps going, and nobody realizes the kid has fallen off. And for the rest of the movie, you see the kid running behind the wagon trying to catch up. And every time it's like he almost gets there and he almost gets his hand on the back of the wagon to get back in, the wagon takes off again. And that's how we feel sometimes. And tonight I want to show you how to build a better scoreboard. Because the scoreboard that we've been using, that's broken. So what do we want to do? How do we want to position ourselves, right? Because most people are not losing because they want to lose. So let's talk about internal wins that actually matter. All right? So let's redefine what the win is. What if success was showing up for yourself every morning, even when you're tired? What if success was saying no to what doesn't serve your health anymore? What if it was choosing consistency over perfection? I can't do it exactly like they said, but I can continue doing it as best as I can. What if success was listening to your body and honoring its cues? I'm tired. Let's go to sleep. These are internal wins, and they build the identity of someone who's not just surviving, but someone who's thriving. Because the things that happen on the scale, the things that happen in the lab, the things that happen with your blood sugar, your finger stick, your A1C, and all those things can only happen if the person that is behind it is content with who they are and are willing to continue the small advancing changes that make a difference over time. But if that person is frustrated, if that person does it today but they don't do it tomorrow, if that person is frustrated today and they give up tomorrow and it takes them 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months to get back on track, guess what happens? The numbers and the labs never change. So let's break it down. What do we want? Let's talk about 3 or 4 things. Number one, we want clarity. And clarity has to do with the rhythm that you hear me talking about. Rhythm, alignment, and structure. Clarity, knowing what you want and what it takes. Knowing what my purpose is. What is my goal? Where am I heading? What am I about? Clarity. Understanding what that number that everybody talks about, what does that number actually mean? Do you know what an A1C is? Do you know why blood sugars cause problems? Do you understand the purpose of blood pressure? That it is designed, the pressure in your body, the pressure in your, come on, let me do this one. Do you know the pressure in your body is designed to take blood and make it flow around your system, to deliver nutrients and to deliver oxygen and to take away toxins from your cells? So if your blood pressure was 0, you would not be alive. So blood pressure is actually a good thing. It is too high a blood pressure that's the problem. Blood sugar is a good thing. Glucose, that's what the body uses for energy. It is too high a glucose that's a problem. Insulin is a good thing. It is too high an insulin level that's a problem. So understanding how the body works, clarity, not just going along because it was told to me, but understanding what it means. I often talk about my son, and he's growing up, and man, time flies so much. Wish I can get some more time with him. But when he was young, there were so many things that we told him not to do. Don't climb on the table. Why is the pot in the middle of the floor? Don't touch the stove. Don't go upstairs. Don't run around. All these things, right? Don't. And as my son grew, we had to go back and teach him why it was that he couldn't do certain things. It wasn't that the thing was wrong. It was at the time it was not appropriate for him. Don't go up the stairs because there's nobody here with you. You're only a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was. It's a safety issue. But if I never come back and say to him, hey, it wasn't that going upstairs is wrong. It was a safety issue. He grows up thinking that going upstairs is wrong. And so there are so many things that we have done, so many things that we have taught, so many things that you have learned. Because that's the way it was said. But getting clarity, understanding what's going on in your body gives clear direction. Number one, clarity. Number two, understanding consistency. Doing small things daily, not once in a while, not big, massive moves, little things, little bit at a time. That's where results are born. That's where results are born. There's a book that we read, and we talked about here, talk about it on my show, and it's called The Compound Effect. That making small changes over time, over a long time, more consistent changes, gives results. But often, we want to be like the person who's all of a sudden that says, I'm going to save, and I'm going to save, $100,000 today. And then I won't save again for another 5 years. And then I'll save another $100,000. At the end of that time, the person who's been saving a penny every day for that time ends up with more money. But it didn't seem like a lot. So the power of consistency. Our 100-day walk to consistency and health. Our strength, strategy, and mindset. Our weekly fasting that we do. Small changes over time. Consistency moves the needle. That's where results come from. The big, massive changes that we do are great to initiate, sure. But then what happens tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after that? So clarity, consistency, strength. Physical strength, yes, but also emotional and spiritual strength. The ability to resist and stand firm. The ability to keep going when you don't think you can. The ability to be flexible when things seem to try to break you. Where does that come from? That comes from in here. And that has nothing to do with the people outside of you. Yeah. So when we talk about strength, strategy, and mindset, as we're going through that series, it is with the intention that we understand that, yeah, there are some physical things that we want to do. There are some physical things I'm looking for. I'm looking for some changes in my body, some physical things. I want to be stronger. I want to look better. But oh, the emotional and spiritual and conceptual things that I learn as I'm standing out there working out are incredible. So clarity, consistency, strength, and awareness, recognizing who I am and understanding my triggers, understanding what pushes my button, understanding what calls me off of my plan, rewriting my responses to those triggers so that I'm not just reacting, but I'm actually responding. That's what we talk about, the COPE model: clarify, observe, pause, execute. Owning my pattern of behavior instead of being owned by them. I am regulating. I am determining. I am righting the ship. And that is what winning looks like. That is what happens when we are playing our own game. And it takes us being clear about what we want, clear about what's going on in our body, being consistent, being willing to do those things on a consistent basis, little by little over time, being strong enough physically and emotionally and spiritually, the domains of health, being aware of what's going on in me, being emotionally intelligent to understand the things that are going to push my button, and making allowances and putting things in place that protect me from going down the path when my motivation goes away. Because motivation is fleeting. Motivation is fleeting. But structure is what gives us the benefit that we are looking for. So those are the internal wins that actually matter. So why does it matter? Why does this all matter in the long run? So let me tell you. Every time you focus only on that number, you lose sight of the progress. Every time you focus on the number, you lose sight of the progress. I have people that I've talked to who can't get on a scale because the scale depresses them. The number has become the end-all be-all. But that gives power to the number and it takes it away from me. But when you focus on your values, on your actions, on your alignment, on your rhythm, on your purpose, that's where real transformation happens. Let me say it like this. If you gain clarity, consistency, and control, the weight, the labs, the energy, the blood pressure, the cholesterol improve. They will follow the game that you're playing. Because when you're playing that game, you are consistent. You're clear about what you want. You are clear about how to get there. And the things that around you that push your button, because you understand them and because you've put things in place to offset them, they don't affect you as much. But if you chase the number without changing your mindset, you will always feel like you're failing, even when you're not failing. True success isn't about how far you've gone. It's about how far you've come in alignment with who you are becoming. Let me say that again. True success is not about how far you've gone. It's about how far I've come to be in alignment with the person I say I want to be. When we acknowledge that, when we are aware of that, then we can do what we need to do to be successful. So how do we go about reclaiming our scorecard? So let's build a new one together. I want you to get a pen. You have your phone? Go ahead, pull the phone out. I prefer pen by it though. Get your journal. Now I want you to ask yourself a few questions as you evaluate where you are. Number one, what does winning feel like in my body? What does winning feel like? I want you to help. You're going to be rewriting. What does it feel like? Did I eat in a way that honors my health today? So we're talking about health. Did I eat in a way that honors my health today? Did I move my body with intention? Number two. Number three, did I practice mindfulness and peace? And did I pause before I reacted or I responded to that thing that happened today? Did I practice mindfulness? Did I pause before reacting? Did I speak kindly to myself? These are the questions you're asking. Did I speak kindly to myself? And did I take one step, no matter how small it was, towards my vision? Let me say it again. What does winning feel like in my body? And follow that up with these questions. Did I eat in a way that honors my health today? Did I move my body with intention? Did I practice mindfulness? And did I pause before reacting? Did I speak kindly to myself? Did I take one step, no matter how small, towards my vision? Now, these are wins that you can rack up daily, every single day. Every single day you can rack these up. Unlike the scale, these ones actually make you healthier. So that's how we reclaim our scorecard. So back to Lisa's story. So what about her? You remember she came into me after years of trying to lose weight. She'd done all the diets. She'd seen the scales go up and down, sometimes not changing, but nothing stuck. When Lisa shifted her focus from the weight win, from the scale, to the structure that was her, everything changed. When she began playing her game, she began saying to herself, hey, look at how often I got up and walked. Look at how often I cook at home now. Look at how often I go to bed on time and don't stay up late. Look at how often I said no to that food that triggers me to binge. Remember, am I eating with intention? When Lisa began doing that, the magic happened. When Lisa became content with who she was, when Lisa began seeing those milestones, seeing those places that she was moving as positives, places where she was making benefit or having benefit, the weight started to move. Her labs improved. But more importantly, she stopped hating herself in the process. She stopped hating herself in the process. She was finally playing her game. When we make that connection, when we're playing our game, fascinating things happen. As someone who's been overweight all my life, I felt like I tried all the weight loss methods out there. This is a patient. I want you to listen. As someone who has been overweight all my life, I felt like I've tried all the weight loss methods out there. And this was a patient who came and began working with us. And when we finally were able to begin playing our own game, this is what he said. I really felt like I am making a lifestyle change instead of just being on another diet. I truly feel, for the first time in decades, that I am on a path to meet my weight loss goals. If you go to our website, you'll see that quote listed there. So let's go ahead and let's land this plane. You don't need somebody else's finish line. You need your own. Redefining success is the cornerstone of designing the life that works for you. So this week, I want you to write down 5 internal wins, 5 things that make a difference for you more than weight. 5 things that make a difference for you more than weight. Internal wins. If you've tried and you're tired of feeling like you're not doing enough, or that success is always just out of your reach, like that kid who's chasing after the wagon, I want you to remember this. The real transformation is happening every time you show up. Every time you choose alignment. Every time you keep going without applause. This is the work that builds identity, not just results. This is the work that allows you to play your own game. This is the work that allows you to be successful when it comes to your health and in all other areas of your life. Because after all, limitless living says that we're not allowing anything from outside or inside to prevent us from doing what we need to do. We're showing up with our best self, our best health, and our best plans. So go and play your own game. Now you guys are going to say, you always say this is your favorite, but this is one of my favorite conversations. One of my favorite conversations. If this conversation resonates with you, if this touched you, if this is a conversation that you seem to be having in your head, inside of our Limitless Living Accelerator, we don't just talk about success. We're building a system that supports it. We install structure, create clarity, build confidence. If you're ready to stop starting over and ready to start building forward, you want to be in that room with us. Go ahead, get over to the YouTube channel, join the membership. There's a join button down there somewhere. Click on that. And then on our website, Dwain Woode MD, below that section that has the videos, there's a thing there that says, find out more information about the accelerator. Come join us and let's begin living our limitless lives and let's build and begin playing our own game together. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and let's say hello. I do see some of our more community members out there. So let me hop over and say hello. And let me see, where were we? I think the last thing we said was Jion was saying hello. So let me pop that up. Let's see, where were we? Jion, hi Teresa. Let's see, where's Teresa? Good evening, Jion. Hi Steve. Cornelia. So Gianna said, Cornelia, hey, doctor and everyone. It's been a minute. Hey, Teresa, what's up? Get Teresa a hand clap and some music. Gian says, hey, Teresa. Long time no see, Teresa. Teresa says, yes, Gian had a lot of things to come up, but I am still a believer. LLG, that's right, LLG in the house. Limitless Living Gang, come on now. Cornelia says, hi, sis, Steve, Teresa. Teresa says, hey, Cornelia. Steve said, Gian, I live in the hills of North Alabama. Steve is near me, y'all. Gian says, Teresa, understand and thank you. Steve said, thank you for sharing. Same here, I believe in LLG. Teresa says, thumbs up, Gian. It said, lifestyle changing is the key. Lifestyle changing is the key. And you all, this is the crux of the limitless living idea. That, and you guys remember when we did, as we were moving through the year, the very first thing that we began talking about was the domains of health. How we're doing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, intellectually, socially and relationally, right? Occupationally. Why? Because it is the person, right? That's why it says down here, limitless living powered by the new you. It doesn't matter all the other things that we talk about. If the you that's there is not fully functional, then everything falls apart. That's why those things are not sustainable without a different you. I want you to listen to me. The you that you are is what drives everything else. And making sure that you are at your optimal, at your best, is what sets everything else on fire and allows it to work and function in a way that gives us long-term success. Love it, love it. So we will continue our trek through limitless living and, of course, play your own game. We will be talking about our next episode, right? Where we're talking about opting out of the hustle, redefining progress without burnout. Redefining progress without burnout. That's going to be our next episode. Make sure you join us next week for Dwain Woode MD Live. Everything that we do, y'all, is based on our Triple E formula for success. We educate, we empower, and we encourage. We educate with the shows, with the podcasts, with the blogs. We empower with the tools that we're learning. Limitless Living Health Action Plan, Balance Bites, our 100-day walk to consistency and health, strength, strategy, and mindset. All of those, the COPE model, the HEAT model, all of those are tools that are designed to empower you to put into practice the things that we are learning. I love the fact that you watch. I love the fact that you listen. I love the fact that you're here. But what I want even more is for you to begin implementing and installing all of the things that we're learning into your life. And the empowerment comes as you do them. You're doing those tools and using those tools. And then we encourage. The encouragement comes from the community. You guys have seen, and I continue to press community. I can't tell you how tremendously community has helped me and continues to help me in my walk as I work on my metabolism. And actually, to be honest, other areas of my life, not just health. Community is so important. And we recently made a change to our community. Once again, down there somewhere, there's a button that says join. Join the community. It's an amazing group that we are building that is designed and there to support and encourage and pull along and to be an example and be a accountability for everyone. Right. So join the community through. You can join through the YouTube channel. You can join through our website. If you go and join through the YouTube channel, of course, you get some additional benefits as you do sign up for that membership. But you want to be in that space with us, where we are. We do some coaching, we do some teaching, we do behind the scenes, and it is a great space to be so that we can talk more as a group, and I can hear your voice, I can see your face as we're having that conversation together. So go ahead, jump in and be there with us. We will continue as we move through the rest of this week. Let's get back over here. We'll continue as we move through the rest of this week. We'll do our check-in tomorrow as we begin our fast into tomorrow afternoon into Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we'll have our complete review of fasting. So on Tuesday we'll have our check-in. Wednesday we'll have our check-in. Of course, Wednesday night we'll have our show. Thursday check-in and Thursday night show. And then on Friday we'll do our complete review of fasting, how to get into the fast, how to complete the fast, and then how to break the fast. Come tomorrow, you get to see what I'm going to eat for my last meal before the fast. And then on Friday, you get to see what I eat for my first meal coming out of the fast. On Saturday night, we'll have a video from the vault. And then on Sunday next week, we'll have This Week in Review at 6 a.m. Central. And then next Monday, y'all, we'll be right back here with Dwain Woode MD Live as we continue the Play Your Own Game series with the title Opting Out of the Hustle, Redefining Progress Without Burnout. Redefining Progress Without Burnout. Thank you for being here. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. We're not letting anything stop us, nothing from outside or inside. We're showing up with our best self, our best health, and our best plans. Good night, everybody. For the community members, you'll see that link come up in just a minute. We'll see you over there. Bye-bye.